Hi, welcome to Cubs and Culture for February 5th of 2018. What I really want to talk about is the fact that the Cubs zip projections came out earlier today, and pretty much everyone I really care about seems to be heading towards a really great season, with Quintana coming in first for the pitchers, and then Baez is projected to be had his career better than that last year. But unfortunately, because of the way in which our fucking country is going, I have to have a rant about what Trump said. How I loathe this man. How I loathe him so much. Today, Trump said, I'm going to paraphrase that basically because the Democrats weren't cheerleaders during his speech, that was un-American and un-American. Someone might call it treasonous. And then, can we call it treason? Sure, we can call it treason. Why not? Well, the man's a fucking moron, but here's the thing. Treason is one of the actually few crimes defined by the constitutions, and not cheering on the person who happens to hold the presidency, like fucking Trump does because of a goddamn quirk in our system. As either directly engaging in war against the United States, against the federal government, i.e., you get a group of people together and they attack a military base, or the fucking Confederate States of America, that was treason, or giving care, comfort and aid to the enemy, which and legally enemy, there has to be an official declaration of war. So if the Trump campaign actually colluded with Russia, which maybe, I think it's obvious he's obstructing justice. I also think it's pretty obvious that Fido tried to collude. Now, whether or not actual collusion actually happened, we don't know yet. But if the campaign did collude, that would be betrayal, but it wouldn't actually be treason, because we're not at war with Russia. Okay, so people across the political spectrum tend to use treason interchangeably with betrayal, and they shouldn't do that because it's two very different things. It's quite possible to betray your country, or the people of your country, without actually committing treason, because it is so narrowly defined by the Constitution. Not that Trump has ever actually fucking read that. Well, apart from that entire issue, this notion that the party not in power, this goes back away, and Republicans have been running this bullshit against Democrats since at least Nixon. Probably the most recent example is in 2002 State of the Union address, or 2003, when Bush was really pushing for the Iraq War. That phrase, "you're either with us or against us," that sort of made it seem like Democrats, or people who opposed the Iraq War, were against America or American troops. That's bullshit. But at least he didn't attach the word treason, and at least he was smart enough to not say the implication. He just did let the implication be there. Unlike fucking Trump, who did. Now, apart from anything else, this is incredibly dangerous because it polarizes the nation. Because of glowing inequity and everything like that, where it's a powder keg. But apart from that, it's just bullshit. It's one thing if this was about a policy disagreement, but Trump's narcissism and ego is so fucking fragile that he demands that people cheer for him during the State of the Union, even if, or especially if, they're nominally his political opponents. Okay? And, excuse me, here's the thing. I gotta pause for a second. Here's the thing. I'm under No one is under any legal fucking obligation to respect Trump, to like Trump, to think highly of Trump, to compliment Trump, or do anything like that. At most, we are legally required to obey laws that he has, because, again, a quirk within our fucking system dating back to slavery, to protect slavery, the fucking Electoral College. We have to obey lawful commands. That's all. That is the extent of our obligations towards him. We don't have to like him. We don't have to think highly of him. We can call him a motherfucking bastard. And there's not a goddamn thing he can do. And it's not treason if we do that. It might. I don't even fucking care if people on the right consider calling your president a motherfucking bastard, disloyal and un-American. At this point, I don't fucking care. Because I feel like the social bonds between us are so strained that we can't fix them. But the fact of the matter is, it's not goddamn treason. And that Trump's ego is so fragile, he can't handle people disapproving from him, that he's willing to further fray, if not completely destroy, the bonds of the Commonwealth, sort of the social contract, and throw us into civil war because his ego needs to be fucking stroked. It's goddamn disgusting. He's like fucking Nozick's utility monster, where his ego is so ravenous for praise that no matter how much you feed it, it just needs more. Like, the more you feed it, the more it needs praise. And so here's the thing. And I want to make this clear, because just in case someone reports this to the FBI, I'm not calling for violence. I'm not calling for assassination. I'm not calling for any sort of disobedience, which is unlawful. But here's the thing. If the Democrats and the people if the mere act of not cheering for him or clapping for when he gives a speech is treason to this man. Let me just allegedly quote Patrick Henry. If that be treason, let us make the most of it. If he can't even counterance us, the Democratic, the left, the institutional power that he does not, in fact, control, expressing disapproval because of not clapping, if that's treason in his mind, then the Democrats' response should be to break quorum in both the Senate and the House of Representatives and shut the fucking government down. He should be, anytime someone mentions him, someone should say fuckface or bastard or motherfucker. There should be people outside of the White House booing at all times. Okay, this is utterly dangerous with cult of personality and strongman authoritarian politics. That if this mere act of not cheering for him is too much of a disapproval, then we need to just keep driving at this and drive him insane. Because in the way in which his ego must be fed. Eventually he will completely break down and snap or something. And it so utterly disgusts me what's happening in this country. Because there's no justification for it at all. And I'd rather talk about films than baseball, but I'm so upset about this. Because, I didn't even bother watching the State of the Union address, and how fucking dare this man, who has no idea of our history, of our liberal, of our traditions, of what our founding fathers actually stood for. I mean, God damn it, Thomas Jefferson wrote, in response to Shays' rebellion, a rebellion now and then is good. The tree of liberty must be constantly replenished with the blood of patriots and of tyrants. So the notion that, if Jefferson was alive, and Jefferson was a deeply flawed founding father, but if he was alive, he would be screaming at the notion that we have to applaud the fucking guy who happens to hold the presidency. Okay? It is... It's so, God damn it, I knew more about what the president's job was in 7th grade than what that fucking man knows today. And I can't stand, it's just so awful. To pit people against each other like this, and to destroy the Commonwealth because of fucking narcissism. Okay, now I really am just ranting, but god damn it. I'd rather just focus on Cubs and baseball, but god damn it, I'm watching my country fall apart because of fucking greed and inability to have fine common ground and just talk to each other. Okay, I feel like this one is very ranty. I hope people enjoyed listening to this. I'm actually really almost crying at this point. So